a wholesale price if they resell them. So I came up with this franchise idea. That's what that's about. So you can see though, it's all the things on the side there are in sync with my mission. Some of the things still up on the top aren't. I'm still, like I said, that's been my big struggle. I tend to get all these ideas floating around and I want to grab them all and do them all. I guess we can hear the music over here. So let's go back to, actually I'll show you some of the online galleries. And my specialty was always wild bird photography. I've gotten a little more into landscapes lately too, and panoramics. Ironically, I volunteered to do a wildlife cleanup at the Bosque del Apache National Wildlife Refuge in New Mexico this fall with Arthur Morris. And he and I became friends, and I went out to help him with a seminar in Maine. And so I photographed with him a lot. And he's the famous bird photographer, if you guys know who he is. We didn't photograph birds at all. We photographed all landscapes. It's kind of funny. So you can go into this gallery and you can click on any image, and it's pretty easy. You just go from one step to the next step. And the colors are really weird on the screen, but so then you go to this drop-down menu, and then you can press this and pick a price and a size. All of them are limited editions of 8 in each size, and you just add it to the cart. And this female cardinal is one of my hottest sellers.
You do get a lot of sales this way?
On this one, yeah. I get more sales from my gallery representation because people can see the images, which is why really I think it's important with big prints like that to have them seen in different places and not just on the internet. So people do have a place to go to see them. But ironically, in places that they don't see them, California is a pretty good market. Okay, I'm trying to go back to the Acrobat. Great, thank you. Okay, so we already went over that, so could you please go to the next slide? Thank you. And then, so video blogs, this is where I was talking about in a little overview about YouTube. So I'm just going to share part of one of them. I think, and when I tested these links, I'm just going to have to log into my account. So how many of you, just out of curiosity, how many of you do this stuff already? I think there's quite a few bloggers here, but what about video blogs and things like that? Do you guys do that stuff? Yeah, Larry, I know you do, and Facebook too. But it's a great way to make your experiences and whatever you're trying to do. I don't know about stock. I guess you'd have to think about it, but it is a great way to let people know who you are, what you do, make their experience more three-dimensional. This is not clicking. I guess, can we just, oh sorry, I messed it up. Or even if you just go to, yes please. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it didn't go to mine. I was trying to, could you please type in up there in that right up here, Wisconsin photos?
Not there, down.
Yeah. There you go. So even for stock, if you were selling on a stock site, but you wanted to let people know that you have stock and you're not committed to one site and you could sell on your own, you could do a YouTube video or a blog that would let people know that you're there. You have your own website, and then you get somebody that wants to market through you. They can pay, maybe they can even pay you a little less, but you still make more. So it's just some other ways to think about getting out there.
It's got to be one word.
Oh yeah, just that's okay.
It's huge for weddings and overseas
Yeah,
too.
sure, absolutely, you bet. There, and there's Yeah, you can go ahead and click on that one. And this just shows most of these photos on here are not anything I would produce as my fine art stuff, but I'm using them to create a video. And oh, this is the beginning. There's the big ones. But anyway, you can just see how the movement goes. I'll wait until this one gets to the actual.
What program are you using?
I use iMovie on my Mac. So instead of it just, if you see a picture that I have of a great blue heron, and people see this, then they know exactly what's going on. And they can kind of feel what I was feeling because I talk about it. You can't hear it right now, but I do talk about it. And there's a little music going with it. But again, it's just every idea behind it, even though it's a lot of fun to do, has the intention of hopefully selling a print, which of course puts bread and butter on your table. And that's pretty important. Okay, we can go off of this. Now we'll just go back to the, so I got you hopping all over the place here. And then maybe to the next slide, please. Oh, PayPal, that was just to make it easy for customers. We pretty much went over that. Does everybody in here that has a website, are you utilizing PayPal? Yeah, I heard a couple of yeses. Okay, next please. And then this is my blog. So what I started to do, because I think, well, I don't always have something to write about. What I started to do with that same mission in mind, selling prints, selling fine art prints on campus, was to do a photo of the day. I sent out a newsletter to almost 1,000 people now, and I first called that photo of the day. But the newsletters got tougher and tougher to write because I'm including a lot of my experiences in them, some video, promotions of different sorts, things like that. So now I'm putting that out maybe once a month. And I thought, well, why not make the blog be about the photo of the day? Even if it's a photo that isn't a newly processed photo, it might be one from the past. I can put it on there and talk about it a little bit. But it really, the whole thing with that is you want to keep in front of people all the time. So the more you're in front of people, your audience, or maybe even people, most of them probably aren't people that are going to buy. I call them the cheerleaders. But you never know when a cheerleader might tell somebody about you because you're always in front of them. They might love your photography, but they're not going to buy. But then they run across Susie Smith, who wants a wedding photographer, and then she tells about you because you're always in front of her. You're always showing her what you've got. Or I just showed a cardinal image, and then maybe she remembered that I had a snowy owl image a few weeks earlier. So she finds out that somebody wants to buy a large image for her new home. So you want to stay in front of those people all the time. You might not see the results right away, but you never know when they're going to come. Okay. And then forums. I listed a few here. We've got BPN, which is Bird Photographers Network. That was started by Arthur Morris, and it's a great way to get your images critiqued or to have other people look at them. I know even when I'm looking at my images, sometimes I'm working on them and I have to step away from them for a while and then come back to them because I might not see things anymore the same way, or maybe I just have to get away from it for a while just to see. Even when I'm culling photos, I do it. I go through an initial cull, maybe a second cull, and then I have to put it away for a while and come back to the culling process. And then some of the things that I think were good, and why did I think that? So I just keep culling. And then same with working on them. So it's a great way, though, to get some other professional photographers to look at your images and say, oh, you know, you might want to try this. With that snowy owl, somebody suggested cropping it to a panoramic, and I loved it. So it was great feedback. But while you're asking for feedback, you want to make sure that you're giving feedback too. So I'm trying to make a rule of that too. Every day, post a new photo, and then try to give feedback on one or two people's things where I think I might be able to help them. Not just to give feedback, but just to give it so that maybe I can provide some help for people. And again, it's like being here. That's very akin to that, to actually being around people and because they're real people on the other side of a screen someplace. There's also Naturescapes.net, and there's Flickr, which we talked about too.